Investment banks should provide and pay for housing for their summer interns, particularly in expensive and hard to find housing markets such as San Francisco. Right now, when someone gets an internship offer for the summer from an investment bank, usually they're on their own to find housing, make sure it's close enough to work, figure out logistics such as how to get to the office, things like that, just for a 2-month long summer internship. Um, but there are three main reasons for employers, particularly investment banks, to provide housing for their employees: economic, qualitative, and competitive reasons. Firstly, there are some economic reasons. Banks providing housing could benefit. By having their employees save on time and money, they could reduce the pay they give to employees by the amount they pay for corporate housing, but they'd be locking in a better deal for their employees. The average rent for a studio apartment in San Francisco is about $2,500, while a corporate rate, where a business locks in multiple units in one complex, averages about 10 to 15%. Thus, employees would essentially gain this rent reduction, and the bank would be no worse off economically. Secondly, there are certain qualitative synergies that probably could be realized. Banks could dictate what apartment complex their summer interns lived in, to promote a fraternal community among the summer interns. Investment banking particularly is an intense team working environment with very long hours. Interns would feel more they'd feel more part of a team, and with the little time off they do get outside the office, they could plan some social activities with one another. And additionally, late night cabs are in investment banking pretty much the norm, 5 or 6 days a week. So banks could save by having one cab take 3 or 4 interns home to the same complex versus 3 or 4 separate cabs taking 3 or 4 separate interns to their houses. Lastly, in order to continue to become a competitive employer, banks need to provide housing. It's no secret nowadays, you can read in the press, banks have been falling behind large tech employers in terms of prestige and attractiveness to top MBA students. They're facing big competition from tech employers in San Francisco particularly, and many of them, the tech employers, provide huge additional perks on top of paid housing. Google, Facebook, things like employers such as those provide paid housing on top of, free lunch and dinner and breakfast, paid gym memberships, carpooling initiatives, things like that. And thus many top MBA students are choosing Google over Goldman Sachs. Banks really need to step up their benefits package in order to compete to land the top talent. Providing housing would probably be the first step in the right direction, albeit a small step in the right direction. But overall, it's pretty clear to see that if banks did provide housing to summer interns, both the banks and the interns would be better off in the long run.